Hey guys, today I want to share what I do for my shoulders at home, right? So this workout is very effective. It's almost as good as going to the gym, right? Because it will help you to train all heads of the shoulder, right? So what you need is a pail, right? Load up with water, and the best thing about this, you can adjust your own intensity. Secondly is a baggage. That's what works for you, right? It doesn't need to be big one, medium or large will work, right? And last of all, if you don't have any of this, always use a towel. Get a long one and it will do the work. So for your information, shoulder consists of 3 different parts: the front, the side, and the back. Alright, so we're going to start with the front first. The front shoulder is what in charge of pressing, mainly a decline push-up, because a decline push-up makes you pushing upward, right? And anything pushing upward will work your upper chest and your front shoulder. So great exercise here. Get a chair, all right? Place yourself in a push-up position, except that your feet is on the chair. So from here, try to keep your hip high up, right? Because when the hip high up, you're more like a decline position, and this works more shoulder. Okay, so pushing upward, that works the front shoulder. So if you find this exercise is too hard, what you can do is feet on the floor, but the only thing is raise your hip higher up, right? It's like a bridge, and push your body downward, nice and easy. Right? This also works the front shoulder. Okay, so this is a little bit more intense because you're pushing your body weight, right? Whatever pushing or raising, it will work the front shoulder. So the second way to train your front shoulder, so here, got my pail ready, and just want to load up about 40%. So once you load up about 40%, what you need to do is grab a short towel and place it under the handle like this. Make sure you grip them firmly, stand up strong, face forward, chest up, and raise your arm forward like this. Repeat stance. Make sure you go wide out so you can have more range of motion. And this works the front shoulder, right? So of course you can use single arm, right? Single arm will work, or both arms you can use this way, right? You can do this also. But I find that this actually gives more pressure on the wrist. Right, so this is why I recommend you to use a towel, a short one, to wrap over, and it's, I feel a little bit more comfortable, more isolation actually. Raise all the way up. Your wrist is about your nose level. Okay, so it's like this. Right, same goes to another way, using baggage or suitcase. Right, load up with water, bottle of water, bricks or whatever. Right, open side. Right, and just do this. Well, for me, I like to add a little bit of squeeze. I like to put my palms against each other. Additional, it will stimulate my chest also. So it's kind of like a front shoulder and chest workout at the same time. So pressing again, flexing, right? Flexing, and raise. So here are the two exercises. Front raises or push-ups, pike push-ups, decline push-up will work the front shoulder. Now, which one you should do? I strongly recommend you to do these two exercises for front shoulder, although front shoulder are easily overpowered. I would say you can do in a superset version. For example, do a pike push-up first, do about almost 90% of your max effort, or you can go failure. And after that, no rest immediately, move to a front raise with a bucket of water or just lifting your suitcase for another 10 to 15 reps according to your own intensity and effort. Moving on to the next part, the side delt. The side delt, in my opinion, I think they are the most important because this is what gives you the nice cap shoulder, right? And the side shoulder is actually pretty large, right? It takes a lot of effort for them to build out. So the next exercise is no longer a front raise, but a lateral raise. Okay, so from the same pail of water, you want to decrease the intensity because lateral raise is not as strong as front raise. Front raise, you're using both arms, but lateral raise, this time you'll be lifting with single arm. So I would say reduce about 20% of the intensity from here. And this is only like 15% of water, alright? Always want to start light first to warm up. So this exercise is lateral raise. To set this up, I strongly recommend you to start with this stance, like a lunges stance. It's because you want to place your bucket in between your feet, right, for range of motion. And from here, just do a raise. Okay, so when you do a raise, don't shrug too much. Keep your shoulder low, right? You can lean a little bit forward and raise. Right, this works the side delt big time. So once you're done with your right side, go for the left side, the same thing. Staggered stance, chest up, raise. One thing about this exercise is balancing. So in this staggered position, balancing is the key. But good news is anything challenge your balance, that means it's a workout for your core stability. However, to make this exercise a little bit easier for you to stay balanced is your back feet, you can try to point outward, right? Instead of this is a lunges position. What you can do is you bring your toe pointing outward. In that way, it's easier for you to balance, right? Just like this. It's easier to get started, and why I prefer to lean forward a bit is because range of motion also, right? Too upright is good, but I find that leaning forward a little bit gives my shoulder more range of motion, right? From here to here, instead of from here to here. All right, so leaning forward a little bit will help. So one variation that I would like to share is, instead of just raising with a neutral grip, you can actually play with your grip, right? This, right, by adding a little bit of pronation, will actually hit the rear side of the side shoulder, and also rear delt, you can call this, right? So pronation will help, and if you do neutral, it will hit the side delt. So if you do 2 in 1, most probably you will target more muscles around this region, right? So what you can do is here, neutral grip. If you can aim about 10 reps with lighter weight, and after 10 reps, pronation. What you need to do is from here, change to here, and from here, do a lift. This is a little bit harder, and I don't recommend you to lift too high, right? Anything from here to here is good, right? Shoulder, make sure your elbow is slightly lower than the shoulder is good. Anything too high up will give a lot of pressure to the shoulder joint, and that's not very good in the long run. Okay, so for this exercise, you don't need to rest too long. After right side, immediately to left side. And after your left side, you can rest about 30 seconds, nothing longer than 1 minute, and then move on to the right side. Right, so it's like you can even do like superset from here. Alright, when you finish, to here. And then that's first set, no rest. Second set, carry on. And try to aim about 4 to 5 sets for left and right. Last of all, the back head of the shoulder, the rear delt. This muscle is the most stubborn part to target, especially at home workout. It's almost impossible to train them. So to train these muscles, you have to bend over and do a raise. Instead of standing upright, you have to bend over. Anything in this position will help you to train the back shoulder. So what you need to do is get a chair, right? And from here, use a bucket, right? It's almost like doing a row, but this time instead of doing a row, you have to keep the body straight and do a flies, right? Or a raise. Okay, so this movement is very similar to a lateral raise. Lateral raise is this. However, adding a little bit bending forward a little bit, will trains the back shoulder. So other than doing raises or flies, you can actually do row in the wide grip position. Instead of rowing inward, this trains the lats, but rowing outward, wide grip, this trains the rear delt. So in the same setup, right, body straight, and instead of doing a flies, you can do a pull, right? Pull outward, flare your elbow outward, right? This works the back shoulder and some upper back as well, right? But please be careful, right? Don't rotate your torso, right? Keep your torso in place and just roll. So if you want to do this exercise, you can add up more intensity because you can always perform better when you are rowing compared to flies. If you want to do flies, reduce the intensity. Or maybe you can do this 2-in-1 version, just like the previous method. It's like start off with the fly first, reverse flies, 1, and then the row, 1, and then flies, 2, 2. Or what you can do is you can do a flies first because flies is harder to do. Do as many reps as you can, but when you're hitting the wall, don't stop from there, do a row because you are stronger at row. Continue with a few more rows, and this will fire up to really destroy the rear delts. Okay, so that's how you train your back shoulder, left and right. Aim about 4 working sets, right? So the repetitions guideline will be 12 to 15 reps, right? You can modify from a flies to a row, right? Superset version, as long as you feel the pump and as long as you hit 4 working sets. Last but not least, you can also train your shoulders with tower. Here, this is a very good example, especially for your side shoulder and your back shoulder. So what you can do is just bring a tower and straighten them, right, and pull, right, make sure you feel the resistance, pull, and this is how you work the side shoulder, right, can 1, 2, 3, you can do for each side like this, or you can do both sides at once. It's like 1, 1, 2, 2, right, same goes for the back shoulder. You can bend over and do this, or if not, you don't want to bend over, you can just stand upright. Instead of doing this, pull like this, right? This works your back shoulders. For tower, I recommend you to go higher reps, 20 reps to 30 reps, because tower is easier. Just feel the burn and aim for 4 working sets. All right, that's pretty much I want to share for today, right? Front shoulder, side shoulder, back shoulder, make sure you hit all of them. Now the question is, can you still build big shoulder like this at home? I truly believe you can, as long as you progress. Now you see, progression is all about getting better every week. So next week, when you train this week, next week try to do better by maybe adding the weight, or maybe doing more reps, or just work on the time under tension, right? So many things you can work. The keywords here, consistent. You must be consistent. And together with your effort, consistency will give you results over time. So I wish you all the best, stay safe and keep training. Peace.